guys, thank you for joining us on our channel Flippin' Hippos. This is Star, the Flipping Hippo. Today is Monday, December 17th. That means it's time for What Sold on eBay. This is also the last week before Christmas. The sign on our post office door says priority mail should have gone out by the 15th to make it before Christmas, but first class has until the 20th to make it before Christmas. I think I've already said, I don't remember if it was on my live show or last week's What Sold, but our listings are now starting to show if they're going to arrive before Christmas. So those first class items have 3 days left. I hope that everybody's listings on eBay says will arrive before Christmas. And we may see an influx over the next 3 days of last minute, a flurry is the word I'm looking for. A last minute flurry of shopping in the next 3 days on first class items because those would still arrive before Christmas. I do not have Instagram photos to show you of our packages from last week. I did mention on my live show last night, we had some things going on with family and some other issues around here. And I actually was kind of away from social media for like 3 days and wasn't really in touch. I did take pictures every day of the packages, but they just never made it to Instagram. So instead, I'm going to just tell you that according to eBay, our sales for the last 31 days are up 20.3%. And I can tell you we're definitely feeling it. Sales are better. We turned that corner after Thanksgiving and Q4 started to pick up. I don't feel like Q4 this year has been as good as last year. And that's kind of disappointing to us because last year we had a lot more used clothing items in the store than we do this year. This year we had a lot of hard goods, gift sets, mugs, phones, DVD, VCR combos. A lot of those hard goods that we really expected people to be buying for Christmas that just didn't sell. They're just still sitting there. And I can tell you, according to eBay, in comparison to last year at this time, we are down 14%. So since last month, we've come up 20%, but last month wasn't that great. Q4 started out with a bang for like the first 2 weeks, and you guys know it kind of just... And then after Thanksgiving, it turned that corner, so of course our sales are higher now. But they're lower than they were last year, which we had more listings last year. We're down to around 1,800 this year. But I kind of feel like even though we have less listings overall, we have way more hard goods and electronics and just things we expected to sell that didn't. And it's just surprising. But to be positive, last year we were not on Posh or Macari. Last year the only place we were cross-posted to was Bonanza. So while our sales on eBay might be down 14%, we did have a few sales on Macari and Bonanza this year in Q4 and quite a bit on Posh. Posh is doing really good for us. I mentioned this, I believe, last week's live show. Not last night, but the Sunday before. I'm in the midst of a Posh experiment as far as sharing and sharing groups. And this Wednesday marks 2 weeks, and so probably Thursday I'll be doing a video to share my experiment with you guys and what we did and how it all panned out. I always like to do experiments for at least 2 weeks, if not a month, to get true results and true numbers and true things to compare. But yeah, Posh is doing really well, and we didn't have that last year. So that 14% that we're down on eBay, I know that we're more than making up for that on just Poshmark alone. And then we had the few sales, also Amazon, Macari, and Bonanza trickling in. So I think overall, if you count all of our platforms in and all of our cross-posting and the fact that we have other streams of income this year that we did not have last year, like affiliate links and YouTube, we're probably neck and neck, if not even a little bit better than last year. We'll know when we go and catch up on accounting and do our taxes. But I feel like overall, we're doing better this year than last year, and that's really because we diversified, we cross-posted, we have affiliate links, we have YouTube, and so I just want to take this opportunity to remind you guys, if you haven't yet, at least make it a goal for the first of the month, for the first of the year, to start cross-posting, diversify, get your items on other platforms, think of other streams of income, think outside of the box. I'll probably be doing a live show on that after the first of the year. I just want everyone to keep that in the back of their mind, because we're doing better than we were last year, or at least holding strong with eBay being slow because of all these other streams of income. All right, so we're just going to quickly look at some of the highlights of this week. Y'all, we sold some plush. I'm telling you, we sold so much plush. So I'm going to show you those and some highlights of the men's shirts that Keith picked out when we sourced and listed. And I'm going to show you one pair of jeans that sold on eBay. We didn't have a lot of jeans go on eBay this past week. And the ones that went were bread and butter. They're nothing exciting. But we've been selling some jeans on Poshmark. They have been selling like crazy. And I've been selling bundles of them at a time. So, again, diversify. It's important. But we'll talk more about that in 2019. So let's look at the plush first. This is Bugs Bunny. He's an 8-inch beanbag plush. And I found him and his friend here, Tweety Bird, a week apart from each other in the same Goodwill. They were both featured in a haul video on the channel a week apart. I think I even said, I believe they were probably there at the same time. I just didn't dig deep enough to find them both at the same time. I paid 99 cents for each one. The same person bought both, so they went together today. They shipped out first class. They were only like, I think, 7 ounces, maybe 6 together. And this one sold for $11.25, and so did this one. So she paid $23 for 2 plushies that shipped first class, and I paid $2 total for the both of them, or $1.98. This Gans Webkin Tiger, he didn't even have a code, and he still sold for $10, which is pretty good for these. The ones with the codes obviously do better and fetch you more money. The ones without the codes, sometimes you have to let go a little bit cheaper. But it really depends on the animal. This is a tiger with like the threaded hairs, the fuzzy looking hair. And I think those are more popular. He came out of one of those bags longtime viewers have heard me mention in the summer of 2017 at a thrift store. My youngest son and Keith found these ginormous plastic bags just stocked full of plush for a couple of bucks a bag. And we dug all the Disney and the really expensive ones out and had gotten those listed first. We've gone through most of those, if not all. These are all just profit now. He did sell for 10 and he went first class. This is a monkey that I found over the summer at a yard sale. I accepted a $10 best offer on him. He was featured on a haul video as well. It was him, a blue one, and a purple one. They were all alike. I got at a yard sale 3 for $1. So $10 is good. He went first class as well. This is a Universal official. Let me show you the tag. It's Universal Studio Monster. I know Trey would like this. Trey, if you're watching, I did think about you. I found him at the Goodwill, and unfortunately they had put the tag, their price tag sticker on his tag, so that was the best I could do getting it off. And then he had a lot of damage. He was $1.99, but for what he was, I was willing to buy him for $2 even with his damage because of what he was. And I listed him at $15, but I ended up taking a best offer of $13.50. I was hoping for a little bit more, but you know, that's okay. We take a gamble sometimes. And I still made a profit on him, and he was neat. He was neat to have around for a little while. This is a pirate Tweety Bird. He came from a yard sale last summer. He was one of the ones that was... his photo was taken before we had the nice backdrop we have now, and he was put in drafts because we meant to retake his photos, and then drafts fell off and he got lost. He was in a death pile for a while, but he eventually got put back up. Now he had damage too. See his eyeball? But he still sold for $15, and he went first class as well. The ones that went first class that I've shown you, I just simply wrapped them in eBay tissue paper real pretty, and put our card in with them, and if they had a tag like this guy, I put the tag close against his body, wrapped him in bubble wrap, and then tissue paper, and then into a poly bag. This one, Eeyore, he came from the yard sale where I got all the Eeyores and Tigers and Poos, oh my, this summer. So he came out to about 77 cents. But we have since made the money up that we spent on the whole lot, and they're just pure profit now. And this, he went for 15. This I Love You Valentine's Day frog came out of one of those ginormous bags I just mentioned. He was like a leftover or whatever. Those bags had a lot of good plush in them and some not so good. But look, he still sold for $15. So that's not too shabby. This is a very special edition Build-A-Bear. He's a messenger bear. He's a mailman. His name is Bearamy. And he is cute. We are going to look at all of his photos together because he is adorable. He was $1.99. My youngest son found him at, I want to say, our local Honey Pot thrift right before it closed down. So he's been around since the summer. He's got a little bag that has a Velcro closure. He's got Bearamy on his foot. He is just too much cuteness. He did sell for the full $25. And we shipped him in a box just because he's so special. And he was expensive. He was $25. But he was so special with his little tag there and his bag and everything. But he was still first class in a box. This is Donatello. He was just recently in a haul video not too long ago. He is also a Build-A-Bear, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. And he sold for $20. And he just went in a poly bag wrapped in tissue paper. And I believe it was last week or the week before on a What Sold video, I showed you the other Minion glass we got. We got them for $1 a piece. There were 2 of them that we had. This is the second one. And it sold for $10. And they also paid shipping. So, you know, our profit on this was like $7.25, give or take. And now we are out of Minions glasses. But that was a good pickup for 25 cents a piece. Yeah, they had to sit around since the summer. I kind of feel like they sat around until someone bought them for someone as a special gift at Christmas. But for $1, heck yeah. And I just wanted to show you the one of the pairs of jeans I sold on eBay. Like I said, most of them were bread and butter. I had never heard of this brand before. I picked it up because it was plus size. And though I always do really well with plus sizes. So these went for $21. I accepted I don't know why this is freaking out on my pictures right now, guys. I'm so sorry. They were a size 20. And they were also petite. So that's something I wanted to point out. That's why I wanted to show you these. But it's not letting me show you the tags. Sorry. The plus sizes do really well, but the plus size petites do even better than the plus sizes because it is really hard for women who wear these plus sizes to find their size in a petite. And for the men out there, petite only means short. It doesn't mean small, tiny, or thin. The P or the petite in women's clothing just means short. So it has a shorter inseam, or it's for people like me who are 5 foot tall. But to find a petite size and a plus size all in one is kind of, you know, harder to find. So you can get more for these. I paid 99 cents for them at the Goodwill. They're a real generic brand, but they were plus size and petite. And like I said, I accepted a best offer of $21. I had a black pair as well that just sold this morning. I accepted a best offer on those of $20. And you'll probably see those next Monday. So this is one of the fishing shirts that Keith picked up in Florida. So this was in a haul video about a month ago. And we sold this for $23.75. It's one of those nice vented. I don't know what's going on with my photos, y'all. So sorry. It wasn't a haul video. I'm sure most of you have seen it already or are familiar with these PFG fishing shirts. Pro fishing something. I can never remember. I always want to call it PGA, and that's the golf. But yeah, if you ever see these fishing shirts like this, the Columbia, they're vented. The Omni shade too, that adds value to it. And yeah, I forgot to tell you, he paid $2, I want to say, for this. I could be wrong. If you go back and you see the haul video from Florida, I knew then what we paid for it. So I believe it was $2. It could have been as much as $5. This Rubber Graham flip cuff striped 3XL men's shirt we sourced when Bill and Dave of Gnome and Frog visited us. And we did a little tiny haul video live show that night. And then I did a montage of us all outsourcing together and stuff. We had a great time. If you guys don't follow Bill and Dave, they are at Gnome Frog on Instagram. I hope I'm saying that right. They're great. They're just awesome people. But yeah, we sourced this when we were out with them, and we featured it on that live show that night. And we got $34.60 for it. It started its life out at $35. And most of you know that when things are listed for 30 days and go to our unsolds, we relist them at 5% off, unless there's something really special or a hard good. Because then I'm waiting on the right person to come buy it. And this is the best sale of the week, you guys. Look how ugly this shirt is. I'm sorry whoever bought it. I'm sure that you enjoy it and you think it's beautiful, and that's great. That's your taste. This thing is loud, vibrant, bright, beautiful colors. Those flip cups are something else. I wonder if we have a close-up of the flip cuff that it's going to actually load in and let you see. No. It was new with tags. And the cost of goods on this, you guys, was nothing. So most of you already know the story of my friend Colette, who went out of business and no longer resells or sells on eBay. And she donated all of her inventory and all of her death piles to us. And this was in there. This was in the stuff she gave us. So there was no cost of goods on this. It did sell for $150. The guy started at $85 and he fought really hard. He countered with $95, $100, $110, $120. Every time he countered, it was his last and final offer, and he was going to walk. And we countered with $150 every time and said that was the lowest we were going to go. This thing wasn't even in the store for a week. It retails for $305, and it's nice. I mean, if it had been sitting around for 6 or 9 months, we might consider going lower than $150, but not after a week. It was one of very, very few, like one of 2 or 3, I think, new with tags Robert Graham's currently on eBay. It was the only one of its kind currently live and for sale. So we stuck to our guns. He eventually bought it for $150. We kind of bit our nails for a couple days and wondered if he was going to try for a partial or be a problem. But no, he's already left us really good feedback. So he's happy with his shirt. I think he was just one of those people that just looks for a bargain and tries to get the best deal they can. And $150 was the best we were willing to do for the guy. So this was the best sale of the week because it sold for $150, because it's an awesome Robert Graham, and because it had no cost of goods. So thank you so much, Colette, for donating your stuff to us. We appreciate it. We definitely have already reinvested the profits from this shirt into inventory for the store. So it helped us grow a little bit. One of our goals going into 2019 is going to be to grow our listings back. And I know I've been saying that for months because we dropped below 2,000 sometime over the summer, probably around Vegas when we went there for eBay Open. We're hovering right at 1,800, and it's just no longer acceptable. So Keith and I are going to have to sit down and brainstorm and figure out how we can list more and get more up and get our listings up for 2019. I know I said last night in my live show, part of admitting your own mistakes or your own shortcomings or realizing you couldn't make a goal or you didn't make a goal is to sit down and figure out why it didn't happen. Not necessarily to make excuses, but just kind of figure out why you said you were going to do something and you just never can seem to do it, because there's got to be a good reason behind it. And if you can find out what the reason is, then you can find out how to change the reason and fix the problem and do what you said you were going to do or meet your goals. But yeah, I said all that last night in the live show. If you missed last night's live show, I recommend going and watching it. We talked about just the things that you should be doing to wrap up 2018, going into 2019, and things you can be doing to not only get organized and get this year under control, but be ready for 2019. Go into it like a lion and just take control and do the best that you've ever done. Anyway, guys, that was the highlights of our sales this week. And a little bit of advice from me about cross-posting, diversifying, getting organized, and stuff like that. Let me know in the comments below how your sales are doing. If you had any super awesome flips this week, I want to hear about it. Do me a favor before you leave, smash the like button. If you haven't already and you'd like to, please subscribe to our channel and help us feed a hungry hippo. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We are at Flippin' Hippos. Until next time, you guys have a good night.